Hello, I'm getting my coffee, so I'm going to give you a song while I go get my coffee.
I didn't come this far to turn around. I found my voice. I found my sound. I stand my ground. I won't break down. Still standing strong. Still here right now. This is my voice. Hear me rise. I was made for more. Break down. I won't. Still standing strong. Still here right now. This is my voice. Hear me rise. I was made for more.
Sorry about that. It was going over. It was playing on two different things. Here. Sorry about that.
I didn't come this far to turn around. I found my voice, I found my sound. I stand my ground. I won't break down. Still standing strong. Still here right now. This is my voice. Hear me rise, I was made for more. I won't be quiet. This is my time. This is my song. Mommy ramblings. Mommy ramblings. Still standing strong. I know your name. I see your heart. We're not numbers. We never were. I'm still here. I'm still alive. Mommy ramblings. Mommy ramblings. Mommy
This is a joke. I'm trying to get a cup of coffee and it's playing the wrong song. I'm almost done anyway, so I'll be right there. I don't know why. It was supposed to play the right song, then it came through on the wrong song. And that's not, but let's try this one while I just finish getting my coffee.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa, yeah. You try to break me with your words, try to wear me down with time, turn my name into your story, but you never crossed my line. You watched, you waited, you obsessed, you try to make me small, but all that noise you throw at me never moved me at all. I'm still here, hear me now. Every scar, every mile. You don't get my silence, you don't get my light. I'm still here, standing tall. After everything you said, you gave me years of pressure, and I gave you nothing back. 7 years and I'm still breathing, still loving, still loving. You keep living in my shadow. what you call power. It's
We have to fire the DJ. The DJ sucked tonight. Wow. That was scary. Played the right song to begin with, and then I don't know, we have to fire the DJ. Okay, let me get this. And let's make sure that you can hear me. Sucked tonight. Wow. Why does it sound so low? That was scary. Maybe I have the volume low? Played the right song to begin with. Hello. Excuse my hair. I was laying down with Lulu. Okay, let me get this. We were under a blanket until about 2 minutes ago, and that's why I need coffee, because we were cuddling, and so my hair is so low. Scary. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Linda. Played the right song to begin with. Hello. Now I'm overlapping, I know, because I was trying to make sure my sound was loud, because then someone's going to come on and say, you're extremely loud. Let me check my Zoom sound. So there's a lot to talk about tonight. They had a volunteer search. They found a backpack that I thought they said wasn't the rule. It shouldn't be echoing now. It's not echoing now, is it? I'm freezing. It's snowing like crazy. There's already school canceled tomorrow. I doubt I'll have my doctor's appointment tomorrow either. But what was I going to say? Something. Obviously. What was I going to say? Margaret, what was I going to say? Oh, the search. I thought the guy said, oh my gosh, my volume went all the way down. My volume was like, let me show you something. You want to see where my volume was? My volume was, watch, there. Now you should be able to hear me. Hi, Cindy Rocks. They found a backpack, right. But I thought they said, don't touch anything. Didn't they say, don't touch anything? Take a picture? Call the deputy? Hi, Zigzag. Who heard that? Now, you can see the backpack in my thumbnail. Right here. But she's carrying it on a freaking stick. Okay, if that was something, why did she move that? And what the freak is this? Looks like a... Oh, that's a... What the heck is that? At first I thought there was something sticking out. But it's purple, right? It's not black, it's purple. She got it on a freaking stick. And if I was that lady, I would be freaked, because that's slowly gonna... Ew, it touched me. But she wasn't supposed to move it, right? I don't think she was supposed to move it. I think they said, leave it there. Don't touch anything. Wear gloves. Neither of these ladies are wearing gloves. So while they have the best of intentions, they're not following directions. So anyway, it's probably nothing with nothing. It's probably something that washed down the river or wherever the freak they are. But anyway, let's get back to the real stuff here. Hold on one second. Let me just get my... I'm cold and I'm just holding on to this coffee cup for a minute. All right, so here's what's going on with this. Let's talk about this. The boots on the ground reality, okay? Despite a massive push on Facebook and Reddit for a day 22 grid search, the turnout was smaller than expected due to legal and safety restrictions. The Pima County Sheriff's Office physical barricades effectively blocked off the Catalina Foothills residential core. This prevented large groups of volunteers from gathering near the primary site. And then the Sheriff's Department issued a formal warning, and it reminded the public that private property laws apply. Since the foothills is a high-end private area, volunteers were blocked from searching backyards or washes without express homeowners' permission. Now, in a move that has divided the public, Sheriff Nanos reiterated, "This work is better left to professionals. Contamination fears. Law enforcement is terrified that well-meaning citizens will trample over microscopic evidence, specifically DNA or footprints that match the suspect's shoes, which the FBI is currently trying to identify." And then wannabe reporters. So Arizona State Representative Alma Hernandez has been very outspoken, slamming wannabe reporters and streamers, claiming that amateur interference has caused more harm than good and put the investigation into jeopardy. Now, there were also fake news that somebody sent me a fake news report that the sheriff had been suspended. I knew immediately it was fake news, just by the site it was on, but it's total fake news, and we're being bombarded with fake news. So now, according to the, let's see, there's a double standard that's been perceived. There's the A&E factor. While the public is being told to stay away, the A&E Desert Law film crews are still being given unprecedented access to ride-alongs with deputies, allegedly, right? The community response, public search organizers are calling this clickbait policing, arguing that if the sheriff has time to film a TV show, he should have time to coordinate a safe, citizen-led grid search of the nearby desert washes. Okay, so, and I was going to give you, so that while these people, thousands apparently, wanted to get out there and help find Nancy, the sheriff basically hit the stop button on that, putting up barricades, saying for professionals only. Meanwhile, allegedly, the desert law cameras are rolling. So is the sheriff protecting evidence, or is he protecting the storyline for season 3? That remains to be seen when season 3 comes out, right? We'll see exactly what was filmed and what was going on. People are out there on their own in the washes, risking trespass charges just to find a lead. Who's right? Who's wrong? So let's see here. The group that was organized in part by Jonathan Lee Richens and other community members met at a Hobby Lobby parking lot this morning. They set out with maps specifically to canvass drainage pipes, culverts, and desert washes near the Catalina foothills. The volunteers actually found several items that they turned over to deputies. They found a backpack. They recovered a backpack from a culvert. While it did not match the black Ozark Trail hiker backpack that was seen on the suspect and the one I also made a video of, hint, hint, deputies still took it into evidence for testing. Articles of clothing. There were several pieces of clothing that were found in nearby drainage pipe. But there was also an emotional toll. Brian Enton captured a video of the searchers, including one woman who became visibly emotional, noting that her own mother is close to Nancy Guthrie's age. And the Pima County Sheriff's Department was not happy about the search again, and they issued a statement on X. "We appreciate their concern, but this work is best left to professionals. Pima County Sheriff's Department has volunteer opportunities if they wish to get involved with the department." The fact that volunteers found anything, even if it turns out to be litter, highlights growing tension between the community and Sheriff Nanos. So, hey guys, while the sheriff is on NBC saying DNA might take a year, a dozen people in a Hobby Lobby parking lot just found a backpack in a culvert. Is the community doing the job the professionals are too busy to do if they're filming a TV show? Or are these volunteers just trampling on a crime scene? You decide. You know, that's what we're here to decide, right? That's it's up for interpretation, how you interpret it. And we're also going to talk about, hang on, it's 3 weeks into the search. We're over 3 weeks now. We're moving into the 4-week territory. And there's tension in Tucson, and it's reached a breaking point. The DNA disaster at the lab, right, with Sheriff Nanos, talking about that. Let me take this down now, because I was just doing that for the backpack. Saying it could take months or a year. There's mixed DNA profiles that were found in Nancy's foyer. Now, remember about Nancy's foyer, what's been going around, the stuff about the broken lamp, the glass, the blood, all of that stuff that's saying it's leaked from someone's crime scene report, and it is out there. So is it real? Is it not? Well, if Sheriff Nanos would have a press conference, maybe people would know, because the leak reports of a shattered lamp and blood inside the house changed the narrative a lot, right? Did Nancy fight back? What happened? Was there a struggle? What's going on? Could the kidnapper or kidnappers, or maybe it wasn't a kidnapping at all, but could the perpetrators have been injured? Did they get cut? Okay, and then there's all this stuff that we talked about last night with that Zach guy. Okay, he debunked everything. He's been in Jordan. He hasn't been in the United States since 2019. Yet people are sure it was him under the ski mask. Also, somebody named Andrew is surfacing. I don't even know who that is yet. We'll have to see if I can find that out. The Catalina foothills are now on a one-way lockdown zone. We talked about that. The controversy over this desert law. Is this whole Nancy Guthrie kidnapping going to be written into? Is it going to be the entire season 3? They've already filmed seasons 1 and 2. Okay, the reward, still no reward from the Guthrie family. Nothing's been put up from them. No more videos from Savannah or her siblings. And they haven't been seen down by her parents' house thanking the people that are looking or searching or bringing water or coffee or sending anything. They haven't put up a reward, and no more videos, and no prayer or community candlelight vigil or anything for Nancy, which I find completely odd and so strange, especially at the time of year we're in Lent leading up to Easter. Nancy was Christian. They said she was missing from her church live streaming watch group. Why hasn't anybody had any kind of a vigil for Nancy? That's beyond, I don't think I've ever seen any, I'm not even talking about like a high profile missing person. I don't think we've covered any missing person like this that hasn't had a vigil. It's crazy. Okay. Let's see what else we have. I know there was some other stuff here. Luke Daly, while his Range Rover remains in federal custody for forensic vacuuming, he remains out on his own recognizance. His lawyer, Chris Nanos, is making the rounds, claiming his client is being persecuted by YouTube sleuths. Now, he was never arrested. He does have a criminal history. Yes. He does have, a trial coming up, supposed to be on Tuesday the 24th, and that was continued until May. I believe it's May. Tomorrow, let's not forget that Corey Richens is going on trial. We'll be covering that. And so, I guess there's a lot of places out there that are really implicating him, putting a ski mask on him and showing this and that and the other thing. But you have to remember his DNA is in the CODIS system. Why would he have not come up with a hit there if they had his DNA? So, let's see. So, Nanos says this is going to take long because this is a DNA mixture of Nancy's DNA and the suspect's DNA, and that the lab in Florida is having challenges separating it, and said it could take weeks, months, maybe a year. So, yeah, sounds he could be bluffing or, you know, just who knows. See what else we have. We're going to go on the latest stuff in a second. I'm going to go on to the latest X's. But yeah, that leaked. And who is this? Let me see something. I want to see, excuse me, who is Andrew? Okay, let's see. Okay, so something is going on. What is going on? The Andrew being discussed is Andrew Guthrie. How is this? Wait a second. This doesn't make any sense. This is crazy. These. Okay, so Cameron Guthrie, that's Nancy's biological and only son. He's a retired F-16 fighter pilot. Colonel Charles Cameron Arlo Guthrie. What? No. That's not really his name, is it? Colonel Charles Cameron Arlo Guthrie. He's been the primary male spokesperson for the family, appearing in the emotional videos along Savannah and their sister Annie, whose real name is Anne. Okay. There is no Andrew Guthrie, who's a son of Nancy. The name Andrew, who is saying this? Because somebody emailed me this. So I'd like the person, hopefully, that emailed me this to explain who Andrew is. Who the freak is Andrew? Who the freak is Andrew? I'm seeing people asking about it. Andrew. Nancy has one son. His name is Cameron. I don't know where Andrew's coming up. Don't even tell me that he's a grandson that somebody's going after. Please don't even tell me that. Who is this? Let me see if you guys know what I'm talking about. Please don't even tell me that they're implicating grandchildren here. Let me go back to the chat. Come on. What's going on? Prince Andrew. You got on the wrong stream? No, somebody sent me something, Linda, about Andrew. Hi, Twisted. Hi, Megan L. Somebody was sending me something that was totally fake news about the sheriff being suspended. And then after that, I don't know. And then I looked, and another person was talking about an Andrew. What is that about? Hi, Cindy. Hi, Jen Grill. All right, I'm going to forget that because I don't even know. Hi, Cindy. Did I get? Okay. Hi, Duke and Daisy. Never heard. Okay, let's just put that one on the back burner. I don't know. Because I know there was some talk about a grandson, but I don't, his name is not Andrew anyway, but that's, come on now. Not going there. Okay. As soon as I saw the news about the cartels going crazy, I thought of this case, the cartels kidnapping. Oh, no. What's happening in Mexico is nothing to do with this. And we can talk about that later, too. Yeah, it's definitely, this is not a cartel doing this, really. Cartel would not do this like this. There's so much misinformation. I heard someone thought that the Gem Show was next door to Nancy. No, it's not next door to Nancy. What's the other misinformation? That their taxes for their house are $100,000. That's not true either. I did look up. Nancy has a revocable trust on her house. Okay. And I want to clear up something else too. Somebody said that, and it was said on this show, so I want to correct this. It wasn't said by me, but I'm going to correct it because it was said on the panel that Annie and Tommaso did not pay their taxes. That is false. Okay? That is false. You can't say that until March 2nd. Okay? Right now, they are not due the second installment until March 2nd. They are not in arrears. Okay? So that is false information. The 2026, I looked at the tax rolls. You can look them up yourself. Everyone can look that up. It's public information, but it was said by someone that they didn't pay their taxes, so that's why they'd have to maybe do something to Nancy, or that they couldn't afford their house, yada, yada, yada. That's not true. They were not in arrears on their taxes. They don't have unpaid taxes. Their taxes are not paid yet, but they're not due yet. Okay? So, yeah. And Nancy's are in the exact same thing. Their next due date for their taxes is March 2nd. So, yeah. I want to clear that up because I asked the person that said, oh, no, I know I said it is. And I've heard it. It's like a snowball. And I don't want to spread misinformation. So I'm going to say it again. Annie and Nancy, neither are behind in their taxes. The due date is coming up on March 2nd. Okay? And in fact, I believe the date that they would even be considered delinquent would be in May. Then it would be considered past due. Okay? So they are not behind in their taxes. Just saying. All right, let's, hopefully that got through, but somebody will still come in and be like, oh, I think they took the mother out because they couldn't pay their taxes. Mexico's full of crime. Believe me, I know Mexico's full of crime and criminals. She lived 30 miles from the border. She actually lived a little more further than that. You believe they're involved. You can have that belief. We can all have different beliefs. Yeah, we can all have beliefs, and they may be, but I don't believe it's the cartel. Working on ours. Yeah. Well, yeah, these are like property taxes, lady. But somebody on here, and I want to correct it because I should have looked it up right then and there, like I wanted to, and but they said that, and I don't want misinformation spreading. And I know that the misinformation is in other lives from other people, but I want to correct it here. They were not behind on their taxes. Okay. Neither of them. And Nancy has a revocable trust. And so the thing with a revocable trust, I wanted to see, they said if she appoints the trustee, and if she should become incapacitated or something, this is important. They don't have to go through a court for the trustee to take control, right? Yes, I know. Mental has been killed. Yes, I know. We may talk about that later. But so incapacitated, how does a revocable trust work if someone's missing? So I'm going to check that right now just to see, right? Let's see what happens there, okay? That if someone, let's see what happens. Oh, and I'll tell you something else. Let me tell you something else. When you search Pima County texts, you cannot even believe the amount of Guthries in Pima County. Right, Linda? Linda's here. I think there were pages of them. Okay? Doesn't mean they're all relatives at all. Doesn't mean any of them are relatives. It's not that uncommon of a name. It's a little strange to see so many in the county, but who knows? Okay. Okay, let's see. We'll see what happens here. See if we get an answer to what we typed into the old computer. If in a kidnapping or missing person situation, who's in charge of the house and the money is a huge legal hurdle. If someone like Nancy Guthrie, who has a revocable trust, the answer depends entirely on how the trust document was written. Most revocable trusts have an incapacity clause. Yes, that's true, like I just said. This usually says that if the person who made the trust, the settlor, can no longer manage the affairs, the successor trustee, the person named as second in command, takes over. The catch. Usually incapacitated is defined as a medical condition confirmed by 2 doctors. The missing clause. High-end trusts often include a specific line that if the settler is missing or kidnapped for a certain period of time, they are legally considered incapacitated. This allows the successor trustee to step in immediately without a death certificate. Okay, if the house is owned by a trust, the successor trustee has the power to pay the bills, mortgage, taxes, utilities, secure the property, change the locks, hire security, and install no trespassing signs, and then fund the search. In some cases, the trustee can use trust funds to hire private investigators or offer a reward. Okay, if there is no missing clause, if the trust doesn't explicitly mention a disappearance, the family has to go to court. Okay, so a conservatorship, a family member, for instance, Cameron Guthrie would petition the Pima County Superior Court to be named as the conservator of the estate. Arizona law specifically allows a judge to appoint a conservator if a person has disappeared and their property needs protection. This is a public process, which is why we often see these filings leaked to the media. Now, a trustee has control to manage the house, but they generally cannot sell it, or distribute the inheritance until there is a formal presumption of death. In most cases, you have to be missing for 5 years before you are declared legally dead, unless there is clear and convincing evidence, like a violent crime scene, that suggests a person did not survive. So, people are asking who's paying for the private security guards. Now, I don't know that. I know that Annie has them. I'm not sure. Does Nancy have private security? That's weird too, right? Why is it at Annie's house? Because, well, the sheriff should be protecting the other house because it's a crime scene. Most people don't realize that a good trust has a kidnapping clause, and that would allow family to access bank accounts to pay for private eyes, keep the lights on without waiting for a death certificate. That's why a house doesn't go into foreclosure while the search continues. Right? The business of Nancy Guthrie's life is still running, even if she's not there to run it. Now, hang on a minute. I'm going to check if there's been any probate or conservatorship filings in Pima County this past week. Let's see. As of tonight, there are no public probate or conservatorship filings under the names for Nancy Guthrie. So the revocable trust they can likely access funds through that. Okay, and now I'm getting, what is this? Okay, hold on a minute. So the Andrew is coming in now. I'm getting breaking news. The Andrew is almost certainly Andrew Gould. He's a former Arizona Supreme Court justice. Why is he making the rounds on TV? As a legal analyst, he has been very critical of how Sheriff Nanos is handling the case, even suggesting it's time for the sheriff to step aside and let the FBI take full control. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so let me get back to the chat now that we've found out all that information. Okay. Now we're finding out that. Let me get back here. So, Savannah's mother. Oh, Savannah has more. Hold on a second. There we go. Now, what did you say? Where's my... Hold on a second. Okay, good. Hi, Maria Kitty Cat. How are you? A lot of news to be kept up on. Yeah. Savannah has more than enough money to be sure her mother's home is taken care of. Yeah, but, you know, she may, who knows, want everybody to pitch in. Who knows? If she had more than enough money to take care of it, why wasn't her subscription to Nest renewed? I don't know. You know, who knows? Hi, Ken. Savannah's an attorney, so maybe they can sort all this stuff out regarding a trust. Is she a practicing attorney in Arizona? Did she pass the bar? Okay, let's see. You had a teacher named Mrs. Guthrie. We live in West New York State. I read the New York Cities. And read about New York City mayor's offer for folks there. Oh yeah, it is snowing. Jimmy, how's the snow going?
It's going.
We need to. Do you have a snow report? You don't have a snow report?
It's just it's not hitting us hard yet.
Marie Kitty Cat says it's hitting her hard.
Yeah, no, it's coming though. It's supposed to come our way. It has to. It's supposed to get 8 to 12 inches.
Where are you, Maria Kitty Cats? Are you in New York City? The cops are at Nancy's house and the security is at Annie's. Wait, the cops are at, yeah. And security is at Annie's. Highly believe they had something to do with it. I have a really strong feeling that Nancy will be rescued this week. Really, Maria? Well, didn't the sheriff say something about a recovery? That's not good. You're in New York City, yeah. You're getting heavy snow right now. The snowstorm that hit New York is the one that dumped 15 inches on us. Where are you, Zigzag? I'm freezing. Frozen. My coffee's already cold. You have an extremely strong feeling. Well, you'll see if it's true. Right? So let's take a look at what's going on the X's. See what the if there's any breaking news, and then we're going to go to the other news because they deserve to have. We're going to talk also about Corey Richens. She's going on trial tomorrow. All right, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Mistakes were made early on that hurt this case. Once an arrest is made. Okay. Talk about the early mistakes. FBI flooded with over 40,000 tips. Somebody said the FBI is reportedly urgently wanting to take over the Nancy Guthrie search. Investigation after weeks have gone by, only to hit a dead end. Report on the other 124 on the FBI kidnapping missing persons list. Don't they matter? But our focus is just on Nancy Guthrie. I'm sorry, but those families need the same energy too. Let me repeat, 124 people who have also been kidnapped and missing. Cover them in the news. Well, we've covered some, and that little 3-year-old girl was found safe. Let's see what we got here. Oh, they say that there's video of Chris Nanos saying that he began the investigation of Nancy Guthrie on the 31st of January, hours before she was reported missing. I'm sure they're going to say that's just he misspoke, right? Right. Community stepping up, women on the ground searching Nancy Guthrie's property perimeter. Let's see. Women out there walking amongst the cacti. Let's see. Okay, FBI director. They said, why is the FBI director partying in the locker room at the Olympics on the taxpayers' dime? Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Where is Nancy? Okay, and then the director of the FBI said, for the very concerned media, yes, I love America and was extremely humbled when my friends, the newly minted gold medal winners of Team USA, invited me into the locker room to celebrate this historic moment with the boys. Greatest country on earth and greatest sport on earth.
That's Cash Patel.
Yeah, I know.
He's a soccer player. He's a hockey player.
Okay, now we've got, let's see, let Nancy come home. Let's see, 7 Google searches for, oh yeah, what's happened with that? The 7 Google searches for Nancy's home address, Savannah's salary, and images of Nancy's home were all queried. All IP addresses traced from Tucson between June 2025 and January 2026. What's going on with that? Right? Wow, he was really getting down, huh? They put the gold medal on him, too. Okay, let's see. Annie Guthrie cares about crypto and has tweeted some really strange stuff, someone said. Annie Guthrie's book, The Good Dark, chronicles an immersive search in 3 acts, unwitting chorus and body stations through which the character must pass, where she is cumulatively confessed, compounded, and erased. Nancy Guthrie's neighbor is making herself completely suspicious with her behavior. What's that about? That's all they tweeted. I don't know. Lots of videos of the FBI director. Let's see. Oh boy. Seems most of it is ego has no place in the investigation. Locals botched crime scene from beginning, and beyond that, there's still interstate and potentially international implications. So what did this neighbor do? People are saying she's going to be the Karen or something of... Has anyone heard the report of a lady dressed in black hanging out the window of a car screaming in Tucson on the same night Nancy Guthrie got kidnapped? The car report had no tags on it. The car reportedly had no tags on it and was spotted only a little ways from Nancy's on the same night it happened. I've heard a couple of things about that, but I have not seen any real proof of that.
Sounds like it's turning into a freak show.
The circus, the sideshow. It's ridiculous. Okay, so, 2 women out there. One's got a big stick, and one has some metal thing, rod or poke. Oh, boy. The sheriffs have arrived and have gone into the neighbors. Somebody's saying that 3 sheriffs arrived and went into the neighbors. That was earlier today, I guess. I don't know. It's just not too much going on. What is this now? Here's some women, I guess. Local women searching. She looks like she has a pogo stick. She might go bouncing through the cactus. Here I go. I'm sorry, it looks like a pogo stick. Come on. What is that thing? At least she's wearing gloves. Look at this woman. Doesn't she look like she has a pogo stick? Look at that thing.
Yeah, what is that? To unscrew something over
No, it's a poking stick.
A poking stick.
Yeah, it's a poker. It's a,
What do you poke with it?
I don't know, but it looks like she's going to go on a pogo stick. I don't know what they're doing, right? But they said not to touch anything, and then the lady's carrying back the backpack on a stick.
Say back what?
They carry the backpack on a stick. I don't know.
I just wonder what they poke. And, oh, they want to maybe see if something hollow down there?
I don't know what she's doing. It's a poking
Oh,
stick.
cool.
She probably made it. She probably has, I don't know. All right, let's see here. What is that?
Looks like something that would have a socket on the end. You put on something down deep there and you turn it. Or twist it off.
I don't know.
The bolt or something.
They're not finding anything. And where's Savannah's husband that they said was going to be doing searches? Nobody's seen him doing searches, have they? Whoever makes up this stuff.
Honey,
Yeah.
anybody probably.
No, but they said, oh, Savannah's husband's coming there to do some searching.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Sure. Family hasn't been out there at all. They haven't. You think they'd go down there even to say thank you to everybody? Bring some coffee. Bring some water. Da-da-da-da-da. Thank you for praying for my mother. Nothing. Offer a reward. Nothing. Sorry. Strange. Not going to be sorry about that. Go down. Make sure the flowers are watered in your mother's memorial. It's not like she's like, I don't even know. What does she think? She's Elvis? Like she's going to be mobbed? Come on. Okay, so that kidnapping story that's allegedly in her book, Mostly What God Does, Says a childhood game her family played during summer visits in Arizona. Her cousin, who lived in Phoenix, would stage playful mock kidnappings. This involves rounding up Savannah, her sister, Annie, and other cousins, loading them into a station wagon, driving them on a fun road trip, example, from Tucson to Phoenix, for example, and then calling home from a payphone. Their mom, Nancy, would pretend to be shocked and play along, eventually driving up to retrieve them after a few days. Little Savannah would even joke things like, "Okay, we'll come get you in a few days." Okay, now.
Yep. Put one more down.
What do you have? What do you have? Okay, let's see here. So the sheriff had said that they needed a permit to search. He tried everything to stop that, right? All right, let me get back to the chat. All right, here we go. Hi, Louis. How are you? Hi, Philip. It looks like a dowsing rod. A dowsing rod, okay. Not a lightning rod. Have they found... They found 100 missing people in Mexico, this group, and they volunteered to come over here and help. There's a group from Mexico that volunteered. Okay. Wait, Margaret, what are you talking about, girl? I wondered how she had the freedom to hang out the window and scream while being kidnapped. Hi, Slam RN. There's a guy behind you dressed all in black, stealing pitchers of water. Yeah, right? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What are you guys saying? Did you read anywhere that the DNA... Yeah, I did. I did talk about the DNA, that it's a mixture, and that they're having a little bit of a snafu there, and it's a little bit tougher than they thought, and that it could take months, weeks, years, right? The two ladies... Hi, Frilly. The two ladies are the ladies from Mexico. She started a nonprofit when her brother went missing. Okay, so are they the ones also that are in the Hobby Lobby search, or is that something else? What is that? Is that a different search, or is that also the Hobby Lobby? Because I heard the Hobby Lobby search was a lot smaller than anticipated, maybe due to the way it was discouraged, but that there was like a dozen volunteers. Now, are they in that one? They would tell their mom that they were kidnapped, and their mom acted all surprised, saying, "I will have to figure out where you are, but then I will come pick you up in a couple of days." Like WTH, says White Angel. Hello, White Angel. No different. Oh, so it's a different, but they're all starting on the same day, Frilly? They all started on the same day? Huh. There was only how many women in that one? Who found the backpack? Was it which searchers found what? Which searchers found the backpack? I think that's the ones from the Hobby Lobby, right? Not from the Hobby Lobby, that met in front of the Hobby Lobby. They all decided to do it on the same day. I'm so cold. Excuse me for I'm shaking because I'm so cold, okay? The lady has been there a week. The Hobby Lobby found the backpack. Okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Hobby Lobby people. But, let's see. I hope they told the FBI about that. I'm sure they did. It's been all over. They have people that just scour social media, social media task force. Yeah. Who does that? Whatever family does that, they're a wackadoo, says Margaret. Well, I don't know. Some people might say, oh, how creative. Oh, how fun. Oh, how fun. Right? Oh, yeah, I should turn that one on. Yep. Let me put that on. That's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, that'll warm me up. Okay. No, it's not frilly. It's not at all. It's purple and it's not the same kind at all. Should you get a sweater and heavy socks? I have socks on, and White Angel just reminded me to turn my tiny little heater on over here, so I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I've got the little heater on. It's already better. She's my heater reminder. Hi, Alicia. Well, the sheriff doesn't seem to like he wants to do anything, control of anything. He is not out there looking for her. But see, I wonder, can I say something now? Of course I can. Of course you can, Carolyn. It's your YouTube channel. Okay, let me say something. What if, and this is just a what if, right? What if the sheriff doesn't want a lot of other people out there because maybe he doesn't want the A&E, if there really are A&E people that are riding along, right, with people, he doesn't want the A&E people seeing them. And what about if the A&E people wanted to interview people, and then they would know for sure that they were filming for season 3 or something to that effect, right? Maybe they would even get disclosures for people to sign to be on camera in this series because they're out there searching. Maybe there's things like that. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know that he's definitely filming. I don't know that he's not just taking their Axon body-worn camera and they give that over, a copy of that to A&E, or that somebody is physically riding on a ride-along. I don't know that they're doing a ride-along. I've never watched the series. Has anybody? Does anybody watch the series? Is there a ride-along? The sheriff hasn't even been to the house. That is unbelievable to me. Do you know that for sure, that he's never been to the house, really? I heard him say that he was in the beginning. His job as a sheriff is more important than the show. Correct. Maybe he's afraid that a private investigator will solve the case for a cash reward. A&E, they're the people that produce that desert series, that reality cop series. I didn't hear that, Frilly. Can you give me a source for that? Can you give me a source for that? I have no use for the sheriff, and I'm shocked Savannah has not been out there to give him a peace of mind. I'm shocked Savannah and the family have not been out there to thank people, to fix the memorial in front of their mother's house, to see that the flowers have water and things that people brought to show appreciation. I'm shocked beyond that. And I will see if there are clips from the show on YouTube. What was it called? Desert Law, isn't it? It's kind of like this show Cops, Megan L says. Bad boys, bad boys. Yeah, I think they may just be giving their body-worn camera over, and then maybe some other things like, I don't know. In this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised if the sheriff is behind the kidnapping, says Twisted. Well, that would really be crazy. He has jeopardized this case and has shown no respect for what is best for Nancy. They will just hire someone else. Okay, I'll find it. Okay, high speed. Because I don't know, they're talking about ride-alongs, but I haven't seen ride-alongs. And just hang on a minute, I'm right here. I have to just get 2 ibuprofen. I have to get 2 ibuprofen. I'll be right there. I can still hear you. I know I can't hear you at all. You can hear me though. Oh, brother. So it looks like my doctor's appointment's going to be canceled. Jimmy, can I get a snow video, please, that I can show?
It's not snowing hardly, honey.
It's not snowing hardly yet?
Didn't I say you something? Wait, let me say you something.
I'll check. Hold on. I'm gonna fact check the sheriff's never been to the house. I just have to. After the tax debacle, I just have to fact check it, okay? Hold on. I've got to take these 2 ibuprofen, 2 in each cracker, so I don't get sick. Sheriff never even has a, because he has like the button-down dress shirts. Haters gonna hate. Hang on a minute. I just want to fact check this one thing.
Honey,
Yeah.
I sent you something from a while ago on Facebook. Let me see. Let me good.
I'm fact checking. Okay. The claim that Sheriff Chris Nanos has never been to Nancy Guthrie's home is untrue. In fact, the sheriff's presence and decisions at the scene have been a major point of discussion in the investigation. Here are the documented facts. On February 2nd and 3rd, Sheriff Nanos personally led media briefings from the area and confirmed that his department processed the crime scene for over 20 hours. One of the biggest criticisms against Nanos is that he was at the scene when he reportedly allowed an adult protective services investigator to walk through the area and leave a business card on the door despite the presence of blood evidence on the porch. Nanos has spoken specifically about details he could only have verified through a site visit or detailed crime scene photos, such as describing the blood on the tiles and the removal of the Nest camera bracket. While Nanos has been to the site, he has faced heavy criticism for not being there enough or for allowing the FBI to take the lead on physical evidence collection, like when the white tent was erected and at the entrance on February 12th. Okay, so there we go. Let's see. Hold on a minute. My chat is. Leave a business card. Who does that? I think all the stuff that he's saying, he wants to solve it. He doesn't want anybody else to solve it. And he knows more than what he's... of course he knows more. All the police, all the FBI know more. They're not letting that all out. We know that in every case. Right? If anybody wants to call in, I know I had a new person in the chat last night. They wanted to call in. I'm trying to remember what their name was. But if anybody wants to call in, you can call in. We're going to limit call-ins. But you can call in and tell us your thoughts on this case. And then we will leave room for other callers or to go over other stories, which we're going to, because we're going to do Corey Richens, that trial starting up. And we want to eliminate any talking over everybody or a monopolization and stuff like that. So let me know. Corey, who's going to be watching Corey Richens' trial tomorrow? Sounds like they're so ungrateful, and all those people are out there looking for her mom and bringing flowers and worried about her. Sounds like some selfish people are selfish. They're getting, I hate to tell you, well, I don't hate to tell you. You know what I mean? I hate to tell them, probably, should I say. They are. People that who have been very supportive, like certain bloggers and vloggers and Instagrammers who have been reporting about this. You're going to try to call in now? You have to email me and I'll give you the number. Is that what you're going to try? Oh, you're going to try. Never mind. You're talking about Corey Richens. I got you. I thought you were going to try to call in, Alicia. Anyway, they're frustrated. Because they're saying stuff like, why haven't they put up money? Why haven't they put up a reward? And I know I heard someone else say, too, what we've been saying is, why aren't they going out there? Why aren't they saying thank you? No way, Twisted. Not a trial. Must be a hearing. They're not ready for a trial yet. It's probably just a hearing. I know it's got to be a hearing. I know it's definitely not a trial. I'll tell you what it is. Yeah, trials in this country take a long time. And a trial like that is going to take a long time. Because they're going to go back and forth, I'm sure, with trying to say whether he is guilty or not guilty. I mean, not guilty. Oh, my gosh. Insane or competent. Like I just told you, that I don't know what you want to call him. That 18-year-old who was 17 the day he did it, and 18 the day after, who shot Emily Finn, has been deemed incompetent to stand trial. And he's in a psychiatric facility on Long Island until which time he becomes competent. So, yeah. And it's Nick Reiner. Rob's his father who was murdered along with his mother. And let's see. What's tomorrow? What kind of hearing? Let's see. He returns to court and he may enter a plea. Yeah, he's going to have, let's see, what's going on. He's set to enter a plea in his parents' murder. He may finally enter one after 2 previous court hearings. That's what it is, yeah. Okay. Now let's see. What am I? Oh, and then what about that? Also, that case about that guy that put his wife in a fertilizer tank, right? All right, let me get back over here. So let's see. No, to watch the trial, I got you. Carolyn, Sheriff Nanos' brother passed away, yes. He reported, yes, that I know. That I know. I talked about that here. It's been snowing in Virginia and raining. It's 11 degrees there. Really? It says it's 25 here. Okay, now. Let me go to, hold on. This. Oh my goodness. Did you guys hear this one? A North Carolina mother of 3 who vanished over 20 years ago was found alive and living a new life. Can you believe that? Let's put her up here for a second. Was she living her best life? What was that about? I remember some woman, they said, I just remembered something about her calling from a payphone or something right before she was going to have a baby. Then I remember somebody kidnapping someone about something. That's so weird. Okay. So it says Michelle Lynn Hundley Smith, who was 38 years old at the time. She disappeared in December of 2001 after leaving her home in Eden to do Christmas shopping at a Kmart in Virginia. I think I remember this. According to the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office. Her troubling disappearance prompted multiple agencies across North Carolina and Virginia. It included the FBI, and they were searching for the mother of 3 for countless hours and pursuing multiple investigative leads. A missing person flyer distributed at the time of her disappearance noted that she should be considered endangered and that she would not leave her children by choice. But about 24 years later, she was found alive and well at an undisclosed location in North Carolina on Friday. After officers received a tip, her current whereabouts will not be disclosed, though her family has been notified that she's been located. She's alive. She's alive, said her cousin, Barbara Bird. My biggest question to her is what happened all those years ago in December? What made you leave? What happened? I never thought Michelle was dead. I knew she was alive. It's just a feeling I've had my whole life. In a lengthy statement that she posted to Facebook, one of Smith's shocked children wrote that these last couple of days have been a whirlwind of emotions. As far as my opinions and feelings on my mom, I'm ecstatic. I'm pissed. I'm heartbroken. I am all over the map. Will I have a relationship once more with my mom? Wow, that's strange. Honestly, I can't answer that because I don't even know. My initial reaction would be yes, absolutely. But then I think of all the hurt. But even then, my mom is only human, as we all are, just as we all are. When my mom was part of my daily life, she showed me a love and a bond that will never, ever be forgotten. There were mother-daughter arguments, of course, but right now all I can remember are the smiles we shared, the times together that were happy, and the love I felt. The motive for her disappearance is not immediately clear. That is crazy. Wow. The heck is that? That's nuts, right? She was in the same state, too. In the same state. Wow, that's just crazy. That's crazy. Oh, now look at this. We got to talk about this one. An ex-FBI agent is weighing in with some Nancy Guthrie feelings. Let's see. Hold on. Let's get Nancy up there so we know we're talking about Nancy. Go on. Get over there. Okay. So, who's this one? FBI agent Johnny Grusing shared his opinion. Grusing worked the FBI's Denver division for 25 years. He wrote The Devil I Knew, Unmasking a Serial Killer, about the Scott Kimball criminal case. He has a new angle in the Nancy Guthrie case. Speaking about the man seen in the doorbell camera footage, he said, the first thing he does is with his glove. And with his glove, it doesn't look like he's trying to take the camera off. It looks like he's trying to cover it with his right hand. Hey, Sherlock, I'm glad you got that one. And then he looks down. He looks around. And he gets the branches. And he puts the branches up in front of it. Okay. Is there a chance, since we don't have audio, that he is either knocking on the door loudly? No. Or that he has pressed the Ring doorbell and that he's trying to get Nancy to answer the door and he's shielding himself from being seen as a masked person so she will, in her confusion, open the door? The former FBI agent shared that if that angle was to be believed, the suspect probably did not visit Nancy's home with the intention of a robbery, and also that it was unlikely that the man mistakenly showed up at the wrong address, since Nancy's house is located in a sprawling residential area. He then theorized that the suspect seemingly had a personal grievance against Nancy and may have lured her onto the porch. This theory is also in line with investigators finding blood on the front porch and the driveway of the woman's home. Reports suggest that the suspect allegedly wore a gun in a Walmart holster on the front of his body. Grusing highlighted that it was not tactily sound and observed that it would have been difficult for the man to fire the gun while wearing the gloves. He believed that the weapon may have only been a prop to scare Nancy. So if the gun's a prop, if he's shielding himself from being seen, if he's actually ringing the doorbell or knocking on the door, getting her to come, he wants to confront her about something, in my opinion, said Grusing. What do you think about this, guys? He further theorized that something must have gone awry during Nancy's interaction with the suspect. That prompted him to remove her from the home. He also eyed the possibility that Nancy may have identified him, which started to cause him panic. However, the FBI former FBI agent, said he would not speculate about the nature and reason. He speculated about a lot of stuff, but he's not about the nature and reason of grievance someone might have against Nancy. He also ruled out the kidnap for ransom theory because the alleged abductors never reached out to the Guthrie family with any monetary demands. He also clarified that he only shared the theories based on information available to the public with the hope that they might jog the memory of anyone who can help in the search for the missing woman. And he urged members of the public to remember, if they ever heard anyone saying they were wronged by a person fitting the description of Nancy Guthrie, it's hard to be an expert in human behavior because it's so unique to that person. I quote, he said, I'm just trying to use the experience of different cases and trying to apply any sort of logic to this in the hopes that someone from the public who has thought it might be someone they know, whether it's his family or whether now it's a coworker or a friend or an associate or whatever, to put that one puzzle piece together that says, yes, and now I think it could be him. Okay, so what do you think of that? Let me see, what do you think of that? What do you think of that theory? What do you think of that ex-FBI agent there? Does anybody think that that might be true? Maybe the FBI agent was interviewed at a bar, says Philip. Does anybody think that that might be true? That he was using the branches to disguise himself because he was knocking on the door instead of disabling the camera? Does anybody believe that? Okay. Well, does he explain why the camera was ripped out then? Why was the camera ripped out? Did anybody ask him? Anyone? Yeah, I don't think so. Back to the drawing board on that one. Okay, let's see what else we have. That's crazy. Crazy. All right, let's see. Okay, so black smoke was rising over Mexico's Puerto Vallarta after El Mencho was killed. Major winter storm causes over 10,000 flight delays. I know my daughter-in-law-to-be's flight from New York to Boston was canceled for business. Wow, somebody was left disabled by Pilates equipment. Swanston Center, what is that? Oh yeah, the missing 3-year-old was found, just so you know that. And someone is saying that her arm looks broken and stuff. I don't think that's the case. I think somebody took this picture. You see how it's like a picture under glass or something? And it's just, look, because you can see that in other areas. Look, even here. I don't think her arm is broken. I just think it's the way that was taken through glass or something. But Kalani Rogers, the missing 3-year-old from Arizona, has been found. She went missing on February 20th. A woman, Mariana Noriega, is now in police custody and is set to be booked on charges related to the incident. Kalani Rogers, let's see, after a community member reported that they saw Kalani, authorities responded and located both. The pair was found in a Quick Trip gas station on Sunday, February 22nd. Police said Kalani was found safe and in good health, and they do not believe she was harmed during the ordeal. Noriega is now in police custody and is set to be booked on charges per the APD. Specific charges were not revealed. Let's see. So she was, the little girl was last seen at her home in Avondale. An Amber Alert was issued. Let's see.
It's no blizzard right here. It's snowing, there's no blizzard.
Okay, no blizzard yet here.
No, but it is snow. You see the video I sent you?
No, I'm going to look now. What is this about? What happened here? Wow. What? Hold on. We're going to read about that Amish woman. Hold on a second. Let me just check a snow video here. Let me see, I'm just checking a snow video to see if it's anything that's I want to put in the snow alert. Come on, Jimmy.
No, certainly no blizzard yet.
Right, I'm looking at the snow. Let's see. When was this? Just now? When was this video? Jimmy, when was this video taken?
I was taken out a while ago. Went out there, moved the car. It's not even snowing that hard now.
All right, we'll do a quick snow check. Let's see.
So I parked down there in case, well, we're having a blizzard tonight, not in case, we are supposed to have a blizzard. And let's see if there's any night birds out here. This is a song by Jimmy Henry, it's called Night Bird. Anyway, I don't see any. I do see snow. Please like and subscribe. Stay warm.
It's the wrong one.
And keep it warm. And you smile.
You want to use it or no?
I already showed it to them just now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're just showing it to them. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it online. Bye.
Okay.
Like and subscribe.
All right. Okay. So that's the snow watch. Back to the chat. Then we're going to go back to the Amish woman. Okay, here we go. No, not at all. Nancy, okay, whoa. The chat must be delayed because you guys like answer a question a long time after I ask it. The child is stunning. I heard that she's possibly in Mexico. High 61. And possibly taken by the cartel. Nancy Guthrie taken by the cartel. I don't believe so. No. Okay. Carolyn, what's your take on the notion that the guy in the mask at the door, after he covered the camera with the foliage and looked back and made some sort of gesture to I saw him look, and it looked like he scanned to make sure nobody was watching him, in my opinion. That's what I think happened. Okay? He sounds like an old FBI agent, somebody said. Okay. All right. So you want to talk about the Amish woman and the 4-year-old child that was murdered. Let's see here. Let's do this, please. Okay. So now, let's see what we got here. To celebrate turning 40 on August 22nd of last year, Ruth Miller, along with her husband Marcus, who was 45, considered a trip with their 4 children from rural Holmes County, the heart of Ohio's Amish country. And they were going to the state's capital, Columbus. In the end, they pivoted to go to Atwood Lake, which is a popular resort on a reservoir 30 miles from their home. It offered boating and fishing and access to a pontoon and RV rental. Now, I don't know, the Amish are doing more stuff than they were ever done, because when I first went on a Amish tour back in 1986, they were not using any electricity.
Right.
But then by the time I went to a tour with my kids again, about like close to 2000, we had a very cynical tour from someone, and he was like kind of saying they were hypocrites, and he said that they don't believe in electricity and stuff, but they'll go to a hospital and they will be operated on with all of the latest equipment. As long as somebody else is doing it and controlling it, it's fine. And now I'm hearing all kinds of things. Like, I even saw this Amish lady on YouTube. She has a channel, and then I'm like, what's going on with that?
Is she a Mennonite, or is she?
No, she was Amish, but then someone says, I'm like, she's using an electric mixer, all this stuff. But then someone said, well, she was leaving, but she's partially Amish. I don't know.
Because the Mennonites are a little bit more liberal than the Amish, but they are Amish.
Yeah, but now I hear the Amish are like, they're not like it used to be. Like, maybe they said, like, hey, what the heck are we doing?
Like, they'll show some hair under their kerchief or whatever.
I think they use solar power now to power up stuff, and yeah, and are they those buggies and stuff, and okay. So anyway, so they were getting away, and let's see. According to a family member who had worried about the couple's recent struggles with anxiety and doomsday religious beliefs, they thought it was good that they were getting away. Maybe it would lighten up the mood. But an alarming call on the day after Ruth's birthday shattered that Marcus, the couple's 4-year-old son, Vincent, were missing. Marcus and the couple's 4-year-old son, Vincent, were missing, and Ruth was telling a fantastical tale. She said, I gave my son to God. Ruth reportedly said that in a test of faith, she had placed the child in the reservoir at God's direction, and that her missing husband was safe in the belly of a fish. Okay. By the following morning, both of their bodies were recovered, and startled onlookers saw that Ruth was steering a golf cart into the water with her 3 older children on board, acting on what the sheriff, Orville Campbell, later called a spiritual delusion. Now, Ruth is now standing accused of assault and murder. She has pled not guilty by reason of insanity. It's not a whodunit, says the prosecutor, Ryan Steyer, where the judge ruled Ruth competent to stand trial. This is interesting. Did anybody ever hear this one before? Ruth's defense attorney, Ian Friedman, agrees. She did do it, but that's just one part of it. The big question is the case of why. News of the tragedy devastated the family's community in Weinsberg, Ohio, and a neighbor said, that's not who I knew the family to be, who I knew Ruth to be. The parents, they adored their kids. But what is she driving a golf cart for? Holmes County anchors one of the largest concentrations of Amish in North America. There, Ruth ran the family home. Aided by her daughter Amber, 15, Marcus worked for Twin Oaks Barns, building sheds, chicken coops, and outdoor furniture, along with the couple's 18-year-old twin sons, Joel and Ethan, who liked to hunt and fish. So they had a baby after a long time, right? They had 18-year-old twins, 3 years, 15-year-old, and then nothing until a 4-year-old, right? Okay. They were very close, very loving family. But over the prior 6 months, a turn in Ruth's spiritual life had raised red flags. She had, according to family, come to the conclusion the world was going to end sooner rather than later. She obsessed over biblical references to the number 40, like the 40-day, 40-night flood, for which Noah created the ark to survive. That aligned with her upcoming 40th birthday, and she felt an urgency to get right with God. Family members were urging her to seek professional mental health counseling. And do you know that that's currently experiencing wider embrace among the Amish? According to James A. Katz, a clinical psychologist, author of Serving the Amish. She never once talked about harming anybody or that they were going to die together, says the sheriff. But amid concerns that Marcus was buying into Ruth's vision, a church leader and Robert Miller, Marcus's brother, met with the couple the day before they took the lake trip, told them they were misreading biblical verse. The sheriff said during the September 29, 2025 evidentiary hearing, they kind of calmed down, and they lost that wild-eyed look. That was Robert's terminology. He felt like maybe he bought some time, like maybe they realized the way they were thinking was not correct. On the first night of their lake trip, the family fished well past sunset. Then around midnight, as Ruth claimed to a detective, God woke up both her and Marcus with a Bible in hand, and they returned to the dock and followed God's direction to attempt to walk on water, and for Marcus to swim to a sandbar in the reservoir. Soaked and frustrated, they blamed their failure to complete their tasks they had been given on weak faith. On the walk back to the RV they were staying in, they convinced themselves the things they were doing were crazy. They were laughing, but the mood soon changed, and Marcus took off alone to try once more. When he didn't return, Ruth took their 4-year-old with her to search for her husband. At the dock, she said she heard God's voice, recalling a pledge that she'd be willing to surrender her husband and children, and she was directed to throw Vincent in the water. When the boy bobbed back up, God spoke to her, questioning why she was still looking for Vincent after she had given him to God. At that point, she turned and walked away. She returned to the RV for Amber, telling her to run off the dock and also give herself to God. The boys and Ruth all did the same, and each one stumbled back to shore. Witnesses saw them huddle and pray, and then Ruth allegedly drove the golf cart with all of them over a wall and into the water again. When law enforcement officers arrived at the scene, they can be heard on body cam footage asking about the Miller's missing son. "You gave him to God?" one officer asked. "Yes," Ruth replies. "I doubted him so many times, but I have to tell you, he's coming very soon. Prepare your hearts. The end is close." Well, okay. And how did she, or what did she say about her husband, right? She told them very calmly, "A fish swallowed him. And you're actually supposed to go look for him in the bottom of the lake. You'll find the fish, and you will find my husband, and then you will believe." When she spoke with a detective later, Amber reportedly said through tears, "She's a good mom. She didn't mean to do it." The Miller's Old Amish Church said the loving and caring family they were always known to be. They praised them for that. And they said, do not reflect our teachings or beliefs, what they did, but they are instead a result of mental illness. And she's a human being that is hurting over the losses, said Friedman, her lawyer. She was unable to appreciate the drowning of her own child. That says everything anyone should want to know about how she was suffering. Belief in the voice of a higher power mandating tests of faith is a relatively common delusion among all religious beliefs, said Cates, that Dr. Cates, a clinical psychologist. And he said, tragic consequences sometimes ensue. It is not within the Amish belief system to test God in that way of putting children or anyone in harm's way. The community has forgiven her, says Marion Miller, her neighbor. The family has forgiven her. But actions have consequences. In this case, the consequences are she's in jail. And whatever the justice system decides, then that is the outcome it will be. But is she also being... Is it just for the son? Let me see here. Yeah, because he did that of his own volition, right? He went down there. That's really crazy, but there was... What about that? What about that? I know they have their own communities, but they still have to follow the same laws. Yeah. Okay, that's sad all around, because now their dad's gone and their mom, and I know their mom is she's not okay. Okay, she could do that again, and poor little 4-year-old. But the dad was also, if you believe that, right? Okay. So, that he did it on his own volition. And did they say how they, yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what Nancy Guthrie's neighbors are saying. I'm going to go back to Nancy Guthrie for a minute. Her neighbors are talking. What are they saying? Let's see here. Okay, so they're talking about the people that found the glove. Come on. Bill Buckmaster, a friend of the Guthrie family, described how Nancy's relatives and the wider community are experiencing a living nightmare. He told NBC News it's a very difficult time in Tucson. It has been a living nightmare for this community for the past 3 weeks. We've all been just shocked to the core. Those of us who know Savannah and the family as I do, it's been very, very difficult. I know some friends have had difficulty even sleeping. We want Nancy home, and we want a successful resolution to this case. We are all on edge, and we want it to be over with a happy ending. Where is her neighbors? It's crazy. Nine now confirmed dead in California avalanche, as friends and sisters named among victims. Wow. Okay, let's see what else. So now they finally, I guess, disabled Nancy Guthrie's Facebook. It says. Just said her Facebook comments have been disabled amid search for her. Oh, here's okay. Here's Idaho grandma. Let's see what she did. It's amazing, like, these people, they're going out for a sunrise cruise or something, and they have the most sinister stuff on their mind, killing their spouse. It's crazy. Lori Eisenberg killed her husband, Larry Eisenberg. Where? On a sunrise boat ride together. 2018. It's been 8 years since Lori Eisenberg was responsible for the death of her husband, Larry. Boy, Larry thought he was going on a great thing. Right before Valentine's Day, February 13th, 2018, Larry went overboard during an early morning boat ride on an Idaho lake. Isn't it cold there at that time? Lori called 911 and initially said her husband slipped. Oh yeah, into the frigid water. Whoopsie! While attempting to fix the boat's motor before disappearing beneath the surface. Yeah, okay. He's going to go in the frigid water, Lori, to fix the boat's motor, right? And he slipped. Whoops. Okay. She told authorities she searched for him but couldn't find him. Let me see. I was in shock, said Larry's son. I just couldn't believe he fell overboard. Around the same time that Larry went missing, Lori was facing her own legal troubles. She was charged with 40 counts of forgery, 1 count of grand theft. An investigation later revealed that she had embezzled over $500,000 from the North Idaho Housing Coalition, a nonprofit that she was the executive director of. Just a little bit of money, right? It's okay, $500,000. Nobody was going to notice, Lori. A few days later, on March 1st, Larry's body washed to shore, and the coroner determined that he had actually died as a result of a drug overdose, not a drowning. The coroner specifically pointed to diphenhydramine toxicity, the main ingredients in the over-the-counter drug Benadryl. Authorities began taking a closer look at Lori as the potential suspect after learning about her legal problems. In February of 2020, Lori was charged with first-degree murder. So what happened to Lori, right? Because that was right during COVID. So what happened? Lori, a mother and grandmother, before marrying Larry, Lori was in a marriage with her high school sweetheart, Steve. And they had 6 daughters together. 6. We had the perfect little family, their daughter Amber Barnes said on a 2024 episode of Dateline. They were on Dateline. They went to church every Sunday. So there's a Dateline episode about this. Maybe check it out. And they were taught to live right, make good choices, get good grades, do your chores, you know, the whole 9 yards, end quote. the daughter said. But they divorced in 96, and she got married to Larry in 2004, and if that would make them married 14 years when he died, right? Her daughter, Chrislyn, said that Larry would look at her mother with just admiration, and he would always tell her just how amazing she was. So anyway, Lori was serving as the executive director at the North Idaho Housing Coalition, and that's a organization that renovated homes to rent and sell to low-income families. She just took a little money from them, guys. She was going to pay it back, I'm sure. Just needed like a bridge loan. Bank was closed. Who knows? Larry was also previously married, and he had 2 kids. Larry was close with both of his children, and his son Dean said, "My dad was my world." And then he said, "Everyone loved my dad. He'd always show up with a smile on his face." To him, it was just like every day is the greatest day I've ever had. So it sounds like a pretty upbeat person, right? He loved to hunt and fish and spend time with his dog, Echo. And that was his pride and joy. Echo misses him a lot, they said. So, for all intents and purposes, Lori and Dad had a great marriage, a perfect marriage, said Dean. But then there was that sunrise cruise, 10 a.m. that morning. Lori calls 911, tells them that, "Hey, my husband just fell overboard. Why? He was trying to fix a problem with the boat's motor, and he fell into the frigid lake, and I can't find him. Okay, I don't know where he is. I'm on the lake. My husband... he had a stroke and he fell over." Had a stroke? I thought she said he slipped. Does she mean he had a stroke before? Or if that's odd. Okay. So, Lori, that was fired by the North Idaho Housing Coalition, and an internal audit was being conducted in search of accounting irregularities. On February 26, Lori was arrested and charged with 40 counts of forgery and 1 count of grand theft. A week later, March 1st, Larry's body's found, and the toxicology report reveals that no, he didn't die from drowning. He died from an overdose of Benadryl. Lori was the initially a suspect in the homicide there. And they were later able to confirm that Lori knew that a local paper was going to publish her offenses. Her whole life would fall apart. So that seemed to be why she laced a bottle of juice with a lethal amount of Benadryl, and poor Larry drank it. Before she was charged with her husband's death, she had to face her financial crimes. Okay, 4 of her 6 daughters admitted to some involvement in the scheme as well. Oh boy. Tracy, Tesh, April Barnes pled guilty to conspiracy to commit program theft, while Amber Hosking and Jessica Barnes pled guilty to conspiracy to commit federal program fraud. 2 years after Larry died, Lori was officially charged with first-degree murder. She pled not guilty, and she was serving a 5-year sentence for embezzlement. However, by February 2021, she changed her plea and took that Alford plea, which meant she didn't fully confess, but pled guilty that there was enough evidence to convict her. In exchange for her guilty plea, her charge was reduced from the first-degree to second-degree murder. In May of 2021, she was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Oh my goodness. Lori spoke for nearly an hour. I guess when they asked her to make a statement, she spoke for nearly an hour about what she claimed happened on that February morning. Oh my goodness. That must be a documentary in and of itself. She said, this is just a little thing of what she said, and I quote, "I want to state emphatically that I'm responsible for Larry's death. Absolutely, I'm so sorry for everything I did, starting with the embezzlement that resulted in the lies and deceit and the ultimate betrayal of the love and the trust of the people I love, especially Larry." She said that after she learned about the embezzlement scandal surfacing, she made a drink, and she planned to drink it herself. However, he got to it first, right? It was shock, horror, and confusion, she said. And after he died on the boat, she said, "I'm going to join you, but it can't be right now because I can't leave the family in a mess like this." She did think about just jumping overboard and joining him, but that didn't happen. So that's what happened to her. Isn't that crazy? Does anybody here think that she meant that Benadryl to take that herself? And he just said, "Oh, that juice was good in there, honey." "Oh, no, you drank it?" "Yeah." Okay. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. You did watch that, Margaret? Was it on a recent one? Hi, little lady. Hi, Amy's Justice League. Long time no see. Where have you been? We've been worried about you. I saw you in the comments. Did I just see Colleen? Hi, Colleen. How are you? Where's Mr. Shannon? Mr. Shannon. And where's our Portland people? Right? Remember our Portland people? And where is Mr. Shannon? Mr. Shannon. There is somebody else here that was. I watched that. You watched that. Hello, Twisted. Hello, Scooter. Long time no see. So, what does everybody think now about this whole thing? It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. And I can tell you Scooter's theory, because she told me tonight, and it's just crazy. Scooter thinks that the guy that was at the doorbell camera was a DoorDash driver that was just really cold that night. And he was trying to ring the bell, and his gloves, they weren't getting his fingerprint. So that's why he got the flowers to see if it made any difference. And that's what she thinks is going on. Yeah, on Nancy, huh? Yeah. I said I don't think so, Scooter, but okay. I don't think that's DoorDash at, what was that, 1:47 in the morning or something? Why would he rip out the camera? She had an answer for everything. I can't even think of it now. But that's okay. Hi, little lady. So what else is going on? Corey Richens. So tomorrow is going to start the trial of Corey Richens. Of course, the Mormon mother of 3 boys and married. Yeah, remember when you were telling me that theory? I told you it was not the DoorDash driver. Unfortunately, I think that the public is going to drift away from the Nancy Guthrie case. It is moving very slow, and it doesn't seem like Nanos is a fan of the public. You might be right. People are getting frustrated, and you know what is also, they're also getting frustrated with Savannah. So if she really, like if she has a PR agent or something, somebody that's watching her PR, you would think that they would tell her that she really should do certain things, because it's looking, you know, it's, I think there's people that think it's ungrateful that she hasn't come on and thanked people or done stuff like that. So yeah, you know. Plus, there are so many other news happening that will take over. Yeah, there's a lot happening. Corey Richens' trial is going to start tomorrow. Philip says, I feel there is a connection to someone doing work at her home in the past in a financial crisis. They said that they cleared the workers, but I don't know if you're saying it's someone that, yeah. Who is the Richens? Okay, that's Corey Richens. I went over it the other night, but I'll give you a synopsis right now. She met her husband, okay? Her husband had wealth before they got married. They signed prenuptial agreements, and she had 3 sons with him. And then she went into the real estate business. But she was taking money from all over. I think it ended up that she had almost taken about $500,000 out of his accounts, got loans, got this, got that, he didn't even know about. And then she had some pretty big life insurance policies on him. And some of his life insurance policies had his business partner as the beneficiary. And so she went in to take that off and put her name on there. She didn't realize that the insurance company sent a message to her husband, Eric Richens, that, hey, someone just tried to change your beneficiary. If it wasn't you, you know what? Can you just do something about it, right? So, no, I'm not thinking anybody's going to reappear, Raven? Absolutely not. Who's going to think someone's going to reappear? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what other people are saying. Okay? And she is the one that has come and asked for the public's help. Okay? She has come. She has made it public. She has made 3, 4 videos. So she brought this to the public and has asked for the public's help. So, but, and it is, you know, I can have my feelings, other people can have their feelings, and that's how it is. But that's your opinion, and you're entitled to that, and I'm entitled to mine, and the people that I see on Instagram are entitled to theirs, right? And it has nothing to do with missing people reappearing during a vigil. The vigil is because she's missing, and it's what people do. They have candlelight vigils. If you have covered missing person cases, even when if they're found deceased, there are still vigils held. It's what happens. I said, I'm surprised she has not come out. Yes, I am, and that's my opinion. I'm very surprised that someone that has begged for the people to help has not come out, has not come to her mother's memorial, has not just come out there, and yeah, and that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it, just as you are. Exactly. That's right. You can think that, and I can think something else. I could think that it's not right they haven't had a vigil. But, well, obviously, if a lot of people care. A lot of people care. They do. Yeah, sure. There's a lot of people that care. I think that's pretty obvious. Who do you think's bringing all those flowers and things? Those people care. They're spending their money buying flowers, making signs, going there. Don't you think it's scary having kids and thinking not only did they take my mother, but maybe they're going to take my kids? She's protecting herself, and I applaud her. That's wonderful. If she so wants to protect her children, you would think she would keep her children close. That's my opinion. Okay? Because if someone targeted her mother, because she's Savannah Guthrie's mother, if that's indeed the thing that truly happened, and we don't know that's what happened, I'd certainly want to make sure my kids were close. That's me. But who even cares if they have a vigil? A lot of people do. If they didn't care if they'd have a vigil, then you would never see vigils for any missing person. Anyway, I'm on Corey Richens right now. So Corey Richens then married this man. She took all of this money. She got these loans. She got all this stuff. She got it way over her head. She wanted to buy like this other house. She sold this one house. She wanted to buy this other house. So she had opposition from her husband. They have text messages of her asking someone for drugs. And she then allegedly put him in a sandwich for her husband. He ate the sandwich. He felt sick like crazy. He told his friends, I think I've been poisoned. If something happens to me, look to my wife. The text messages then said, I need something stronger. I need like Michael Jackson type stuff, she said. And the next time, she allegedly made him a Moscow Mule drink, and said that they were celebrating in February, I believe it was, of 2022. They were celebrating her selling a house or something, and then she says she slipped off into another room with a child, and then she came back to their bedroom. She said he was cold to the touch, and she called 911. She said she did chest compression. She brought him to the floor, and then the investigators came. There were some inconsistencies. Then right away she found out that he had changed the beneficiary on his life insurance, and she had an altercation with his sister, and at one point pushed her or shoved her. There was like a really bad, I think she might have even filed an assault charge. Anyway, she then writes a book about grief with the kids. She goes on this like tour in May to bring the book about, and that's when that she got arrested. She got arrested, and then she has been in jail, and she wrote that walk the dog letter to her mother that actually sounded like she was tampering with witnesses. And so that's a whole rigmarole there. There's all text messages of her requesting things, but what she's trying to portray is that her husband had a drug problem, that he was taking drugs. According to this letter, it says like, that he was putting drugs in Corey's bag, and then he wanted her to get the rap for it every time they traveled. Then he was a drug addict, yada, yada, yada. He was taking fentanyl, and that's what happened, yada, yada. So that trial starts tomorrow. Okay? That's what that is. Now, what else do we have? So yeah, Corey Richens, and I think the opening arguments should be starting tomorrow. I don't think they'll be affected by any snow or anything like that because of where they are, so they're all good on that. And what else do we have? Anything else on that? Corey Richens, anybody? Now you know about Corey Richens. Okay. So, now next, let's just take a look at anything else that we have. Let's just take a look at Corey's all set up to go on now. Corey Richens. So yeah, she's let's see. Defense attorney outlines first day. Let's hear about that, right? Let's hear about what this first day for Corey Richens is going to look like. One of Utah's highest profile murder trials is going to begin tomorrow, guys. Summit County, Corey Richens, accused of poisoning her husband, is finally facing a jury after nearly 3 years. Corey has pleaded not guilty to killing her husband. She has a defense attorney, Suzanne Gustin, who is not connected. Oh, no, I'm very sorry. That's not hers. This is one weighing in. Sorry, this is a legal analyst. Sorry, she's a defense attorney, not Corey's. She's going to analyze this for us. Her name is Suzanne Gustin. And she wants to say what the public can expect in Corey Richens' trial that starts tomorrow. They're going to read preliminary instructions. Of course, I mean, any of us that follow this know this, but there's so many people in those chats that don't know anything about a trial that end up there, and that's why it's so annoying. Attorneys can spend significant time going over things, arguing things, what jurors can hear and cannot hear. One of the issues with this that a lot of people have heard is what's going to be admitted into trial. No trial goes as planned. Okay, so the trial is scheduled to run through late March, and the strategy on the first day is that you're going to give your opening statement. And so the defense attorneys and the prosecutors are already prepared to do that, obviously. And it's always how well they do that, right? They should be telling a story, something that gets the jury paying attention, but also has them, if the prosecution wants them to feel for the victims, right? Because, and that the best prosecutor that had ever done that is in the Tim Jones trial. And if you haven't seen the Tim Jones trial, we covered it extensively. But he killed his 5 children and drove around with them in a van. He kept them from the mother, yada, yada, yada. Horrible, horrible what he did to these kids. And that prosecutor made you, by the end of that trial, if you watched it, you knew every one of those kids. You knew their likes, their dislikes, you knew their favorite toys. You were crying and literally bawling by the time he got to the closing arguments. I don't know how anybody could watch that and get in. He made you feel each one of those kids. He brought the Woody doll in. I've never seen anybody do it like that. But ideally, that's what a prosecutor should do. Should make you understand the victim and understand what was done. Not just, you've seen the ones that come in there and they're like, they can't tell a story, they can't do this, and they don't grab the jury. And if you don't have that jury's attention and them paying attention to you, and you're losing them, and we've seen many, both prosecutors and defense, lose them. And so that's what's really important. You've got to be a storyteller. You've got to be able to put the passion into it that gets the jury to really care about these victims and, understand what's happening amongst all of this stuff that happens in the courtroom. So, yeah. We'll see how well they do tomorrow. And it's horrible. You don't know, every time a trial starts, you don't know what their court audio is going to be like. The worst thing is to get ready to watch a trial and the audio is barely audible. That's horrible. Or or you have an attorney that has a standard mic on a lectern and they're walking all around without a lavalier mic and you can't hear them. And then the judge is like, could you please stand in front? Oh, yeah, okay. And then they keep walking around. Yeah, they're horrible things. You get all ready to watch a trial and you can't even hear it. Or there's like this buzzing background noise. It's, terrible. Okay. So, yeah, Jen, it was so sad. Let's see. Oh, Philip, no, that was not the title of the book. Oh, my goodness. Hi, 38, Maddie, how are you? I'm back. You're back from something. Chris Watts days. Have I heard about the Dan Saraphini case? No, I haven't. What is that? Dan Saraphini? Let me see. I'll take a look. Dan Saraphini. Are you talking about a former professional baseball relief pitcher? How is that like Nancy Guthrie? He killed his father-in-law for money? Is that what you're talking about? Seven seasons as a professional ball player. Let's see. Former Minnesota Twins pitcher Dan Saraphini had squandered away $14 million when he contrived a murderous plot to rid his wealthy in-laws. Oh, they had a very nice home overlooking Lake Tahoe. Let's see. In the year 2010, he married his second wife, Erin Sfor, whose affluent parents, Gary and Wendy Wood. I believe I might have talked about this case. It sounds like they were real estate tycoons, and they had a lavish lifestyle. Right? The motivation seems to be triggered by a lack of money he thought he was entitled to. So what did he do? He killed them both? But it's not really like Nancy, because did he kidnap them? He despised them, it says, prosecutor said. And he sent a text message that he'd pay $21,000 for a fixer to take care of them, right? Okay, I don't understand how this is like Nancy. They had a $1.3 million dispute over a ranch renovation. In 2016, he sent emails to his in-laws threatening, I will be coming after you. This is not really like Nancy, but I mean, it's intriguing, but I don't think it's like Nancy. Let's see. In July, a jury found Saraphini guilty of first-degree murder and attempted murder of his in-laws. He was also convicted of first-degree burglary, lying in wait, and firearms charges. So, let me see. Although Erin stood by her husband's side during the trial, testified they had an open marriage, and that she was aware that he had a mistress, she filed for divorce the same month he was convicted. Oh my goodness. And sentencing has been pushed back. Well, he was sentenced, he was supposed to be sentenced on February 20th. Was he sentenced? I'll have to look into it. It sounds intriguing, but it doesn't sound like Nancy Guthrie. But it sounds intriguing. Okay. Let's see. What else? Let's see here. They've been picking a jury for more than last week. They've been picking a jury for a few weeks now. Okay, so let me get back on my chat here. Here we go. So, okay. And then I think the Corey Richens trial is going to be really good. I hope a lot of you watch it so we can discuss it. It's kind of getting, we're kind of getting, without any new leads or anything, it's kind of getting Nancy Guthrie out here, and it'd be nice to talk about the Guthrie case, not, oh my gosh, the Richens case. And tomorrow we can definitely discuss the opening statements and any of the first witnesses, go into some case background, some theories, things like that. So if you want to discuss the Richens case, you want to call in, you're able to call in tomorrow and all of that. That'd be nice. It'd be really nice to have, yes, it's go time, but the trial's going to last through March. It's going to be, they say it's going to be a very long trial, so we'll see. See how that goes, but sometimes they wrap up faster than anticipated. I know there's many that have. Some have a lot of witnesses down to testify, and then they end up not using them depending on how things go. A lot of times they get through things quicker, or the opposite, it's taking longer. Carolyn, I read that will be tried for so many charges now, and then she will have another trial for more. It could be like they'll hold the financial charges later, but this is going to be for her murder charges, and it should be. I think this may just take care of her. I don't think she's going to have another trial after this. Let's see. I didn't hear that, but I think she's. And a lot of times when, just like Brendan Banfield, they drop some other charges, like once he's convicted of something. I don't think it's going to be like murder. No, she's facing a slew of felony charges. Yeah, I don't know anything about another trial. This is her trial. And I do think she'll be found guilty. If you want my prediction right now, I do think she'll be found guilty. I think the text messages, I think the walk the dog letter, as long as that's admitted. But even if it's not admitted, the text messages are entirely damning. As well as her husband's messages, as well as what she did with the money, as well as her changing beneficiaries, as well as her assault on the sister-in-law. I have no doubt that I'll give you my prediction right now. She's going to be found guilty. In fact, let's do a poll, and then we'll see at the end of the trial what's going on. Okay. Hi, Pet Nanny Nancy. How are you? Okay, let's see. There you go. I don't see. I'm not even thinking in the slightest she's going to get off at all. You would like Raven says, I sure would like Corey to take the stand. I want to see her in action. Yeah, that would be interesting, Raven. I'd like to see that as well. That would be interesting. I think she just might. She might be a Brendan Banfield who just thinks that, oh, I'll just explain things, you know? She might. She just might. Carolyn, I asked the bank and I asked how could they do that, and she says he didn't have to tell me his wife. What? Carolyn, I had a really bad divorce. Oh, I see this first part. And one thing he did was file bankruptcy behind my back, so I had to go through hoops to sue for the home. I called the bank and asked how he could do that, and she said he didn't have to tell me his wife. Well, I don't know. Knock on wood, I've never had to file for bankruptcy, but I said that to say sometimes the legal thing is that you're responsible for knowing what your spouse is doing. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. I'd have to look that up. I'm not in that off the top of my head. I don't know what that is. Sounds not nice. Sounds not nice. Not nice. So what else? Corey Richens tomorrow. I really want to see what happens with Henry. Oh, what is happening with Henry Tenon? We got to check on that. Hold on a minute. What about Henry Tenon? Oh my gosh. We were supposed to check on that. Let's see what's going on. "5 days ago." Oh my gosh, we forgot to check up on this because we were Nancy Guthrie'd out. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. You know what? For 1 minute, I have to... Hold on a second. Where the heck is my... Trying to find something for you guys. Hang on 1 second. Henry Tenon, Henry Tenon, Henry Tenon. I wanted to show you something. Okay, but now I'm not going to find that one right now. Okay. Hold on 1 minute. I will be right there. I'll put something on for you to listen to, or so I will be right back. I have to run and get something that I need very badly. Let me see. I'm going to try to put the right kind of thing on for you right now. Not something crazy like what's going on. Let's do this one. I'll be right back.
They said slow down. They said be quiet. But truth doesn't bend and love won't hide it. Through the noise and the storm we stay the same. Not chasing the spotlight, not playing games. This channel was built with heart and care. Every story handled in honest prayer. Not just views, not numbers on a screen, but real lives known and truly seen. Carolyn stands with a steady hand rooted in faith. She won't be moved or planned. She remembers names, she remembers pain. Welcomes you back like you never left again. So we're still here and we're still strong. Still choosing truth, still moving on. Mommy ramblings, tried and true, built on love and standing with you. Oh Thank you for spending time with me today. I'm Carolyn.
Hey, I'm back. Oh gosh, the other song I played was only, what was it, 2 minutes. I ran down from upstairs. Okay, 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Anyway, sorry for that, but I didn't want to leave you in silence. Let me get back to Henry Tenon. Now, Henry Tenon, if you remember in the other Mormon case with the Stamping Up daughter, right? The one that allegedly conspired with her new husband, Mario Fernandez Saldana, to murder Jared Bridegan. Shanna Gardner, right, is the woman we're talking about. Henry Tenon was integral in it. But when we watched the interrogation of Henry Tenon and all the police camera, we were almost unanimous that he did not do this, and he was used as a scapegoat. We felt so sorry for this man. Earlier in the fall in court, he tried to say he was pressured into a false confession. You see, he got a plea deal to turn state's witness on Shanna and on Mario. And then he walked that back. But then a few days ago, we saw something else from him. And now he went in court 5 days ago, but because we were so consumed with Nancy Guthrie, we didn't get to cover that. So let me take a look at this right now with Henry Tenon so we can figure out what's going on there, because they're supposed to both be facing trial in August, and now Florida's taken the death penalty off the table for both of them. And you know that Shanna Gardner's parents are Shelley and Sterling Gardner from the Stamping Up MLM, okay? And you remember that we had a very good friend of ours, Chatty Texas Girl, who was very conflicted, as well as others that had invested a lot of time and built a business in Stamping Up, with Stamping Up, and felt so conflicted because they felt that Shelley and Sterling may have funded this. We know they definitely bought Shanna a house after this, or rented it, or whatever they did, out where she was arrested, and Shelley was on the stoop that day. Remember all that? Okay, so yeah, you guys can hear me, right? I just want to make sure you can hear me, because sometimes when I mute and unmute my mic, can you hear me? Just let me know. Type 115 if you can hear me. If you can just type a 115 in the chat if you can hear me, because I hate to go on and you can't hear me and you still think I'm out somewhere. Okay. Alrighty, guys. You can hear me, Duke and Daisy? Good. Hair is all crazy. All right. I have my glasses pushing my hair. Thank you. Thank you for the 115s. All right. So let's just look at Henry Tenon and what happened, all right? Because he withdrew his guilty plea. So that's really important there. And a lot of us felt really sorry for this guy. And I think we're definitely going to be rewatching that at some point. Okay, but let's see what happened here. Let me find the Henry Tenon claimed in court that he had provided false testimony. Okay, that was... Let's get this here. So as of this morning, Henry Tenon has been indicted by a grand jury and charged with the following: first-degree murder, child abuse, possession of a firearm, convicted felon. So I met Jared's sister last week, someone said, and I told her to give you a hug. Okay. So now he won't testify against them. Let's see what they're saying. Indictment does not mean the plea disappeared. It just means the case is officially moving through the formal trial court process. What can happen next? He formally enters a plea, guilty or not. Pretrial motions, or a full jury trial if it goes to trial. He's gained a lot of weight. Wow. But I'm sorry, I know a lot of people on the Justice for Jared are really upset by this. But I'm telling you, I know a lot of us have really, really followed that and do not felt like he was told to put his truck there, but he didn't do what he's accused of doing. It was someone else that took his truck when he parked it. It's so crazy. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. They're just, I really don't think, and I know a lot of us were watching it, and we'll probably have to watch it again, that we have a lot of new people here that didn't see it, and you can see it for yourself, because I have all the discovery up to this point, all the interviews, everything, and the body cam, lots of body cam with him on it, and people that even have known him for years, like, yes, he's not the, he's done things, but, yeah. I do not think he did this. I believe he brought his truck down there and that he parked it and someone used it and then gave it back to him, and then they blamed this on him because when you see, you'll see why it's not good. That's what I feel. But we'd have to watch it again. But those of you that did watch it with us, I think a lot of you felt he didn't do this. Is anybody here that watched that Henry Tenon stuff with us? Yeah, most of us felt he didn't do this. And I felt really sad for him. I really did. I don't think he had any idea what was going on. I really don't. And I think it's sad because the Justice with Jared people think now that they're saying, did Shanna's parents, Shelley and Sterling, get to him, get to somebody with their money, because they have tons of it. And what does it mean, because is she going to get off? I don't know. I don't know if any of you were here that saw it with us. My lips are so dry from the weather. But if you did see it with us, I think you'll agree. He didn't do this. And, a lot of people didn't see that because I'll tell you something. Before I saw the interview, I thought, yeah, he did it. Yeah. I saw the interview and the body cam footage. It was a different story. There were a lot of other players there, and I do not believe for 1 minute he was the trigger man. And if you don't know what I'm talking about a murder in St. Augustine, where the ex-husband of Shanna Gardner, the woman from Stamping Up, dropped off his twins that he had with her, had his 2-year-old in the back seat, and was going back to his house, and there was a tire in the roadway, and he went out to move the tire, which was set up so he would be ambushed. He was ambushed while his 2-year-old daughter was in the back seat of the car, and he was shot to death. Okay, and that was Shanna Gardner's ex-husband, the one that she was sharing custody of her twins with. She wanted to move back, and he didn't want his children leaving the state of Florida. He had married again. He had 2 small children. He had another baby that was an infant at home. And yeah. And I don't think that Henry Tenon was the trigger man. Do I think he brought his truck down there? Yeah, I do. But I don't think he understood what was going on. Right? Or didn't even want, yeah, and okay, is there some accomplice for, it's but so let's see I want to see what happened, because there's supposed to be something from 5 days ago. Henry Tenon. Okay, here we go. And now his daughter, we listened even to his phone calls from jail, which I'd like to see if there's any more that they're releasing. Okay. Henry Tenon, previously charged with second-degree murder, but that charge has been upgraded to first degree in the indictment. The Duval County grand jury has indicted a man who confessed to killing Jared Bridegan on first-degree murder, child abuse, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Henry Tenon, 65, no longer faces charges of conspiracy to commit murder and accessory after the fact. He was previously charged with second-degree murder, but that charge has been upgraded to first-degree murder in the indictment. On Tuesday, Judge London Kite approved Tenon's request to withdraw his guilty plea and go on trial. Back in March of 2023, he confessed to carrying out Bridegan's murder. Monday marked 4 years since Bridegan was killed while moving a tire out of the middle of the road in Jacksonville Beach. Police and prosecutors have called his killing a murder-for-hire plot orchestrated by his ex-wife, Shanna Gardner, and her second husband, Mario Fernandez Saldana. Both Gardner, who's now 32, Fernandez Saldana, 37, have pled not guilty to all their charges. I can't believe she's only 32. That's weird. This was, what did they just say, 4 years ago? That seems not, something seems off with her age. I think they have her age at the time this happened. I don't think they have her current age. I'm just thinking that. I will check it out. Because it doesn't seem right. Because that would put her at 28 when it happened. And the kids were already 9 years old. And I don't think she got married that young. So there's something wrong there. I'm going to check it out. I believe. They've pled not guilty to all their charges. They both face first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, and child abuse. According to court records, Gardner and Fernandez Saldana will be back in court on March 6th. Oh, wow. For a pretrial hearing, while Tenon will be back in court on March 23rd. March is going to be a busy month for that kind of stuff, huh? Okay, so... yeah, that's interesting. Now let's see if we can get the ages of Shanna Gardner. Yeah, they have her age wrong. Shanna was 36 when she was arrested. Okay, I knew she wasn't 32. And it says that she's 38, 39 now, I think they just said. Yeah, she was, oh, excuse me, yeah, 39. She's at least 39. Okay, that makes way more sense. Way more sense. Okay, let's see what else I have here. If you bought meatballs at the Aldi store, they've been recalled because there's been metal found in them. That's not the way you want your iron, is it? No, no, no. Okay. So let's see if anybody, let me just see if anybody agrees with me, like out there in the, let me see if anybody answers on this. Oh no, this is one of those stupid ones that doesn't have comments. Wait, let's see. So I think people are starting to say that they don't believe this. That's what I'm... Someone, you know, like people, some people are saying it makes me sick that he's doing this, but somebody says, I mean, wouldn't you, if there were two people in the truck that night and supposedly at the scene together, it's a 50-50 who pulled the trigger. So now Tenon is hoping a jury will consider that maybe Mario was, but see, these people obviously have not seen the interrogation where there's more than two people. So they're not hearing about the truck and the keys and the, oh my gosh. I bet you none of them saw the, okay. Someone said the real concern isn't him changing his plea. It's the fact that he's reneged on the agreement to turn state's evidence. Without his testimony, they will have a harder time convicting her. That's why this is significant. So clearly, Tenon is claiming Mario was in the truck with him. I may be wrong. See, somebody's wrong. They're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about because they haven't seen the interviews and the interrogations. Oh boy, this is like, I can't stand when people say things as fact and they're not. This is, someone said, I'm sure the gardeners paid him off. Unbelievable. Well, if they ever get to trial, da 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 da. They really don't get this. Someone said, let's see. And oh yeah, and Shanna's lawyer is Jose Baez, who's Casey Anthony's lawyer, right? Shanna's parents started the rubber stamp company, Stamping Up. I was super intrigued. Someone said I was used to purchase so many of their products. I made homemade cards, scrapbooked in the late 90s to the 2000s. I haven't researched what her family's worth is, but I imagine to say they're very wealthy. I don't think anyone but Shanna benefited from Jared's murder. She may, in the back of her mind, knowing her family's worth, figured she'd not be connected. Jose Baez isn't cheap. Seems like such a senseless tragedy. Someone said the state has nothing on Shanna. The state just lost their main witness. She will walk. That's my worry as well, although I was never sure Tenon could implicate Shanna. See, they haven't seen this, and I guarantee before I saw this, I just accepted that Yeah, he was guilty too. And then I started to watch that stuff. See, it even says here, it wasn't immediately clear. Investigators believe he pulled the trigger. And they even said stuff in that they couldn't even get him to crack. He looked him right in the eye when he was talking to him. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy, it does not compute. Tenon had prior conviction for burglary, misdemeanor, mad battery, and traffic offenses. Okay, but not murder. Yeah, you'd have to see it, because I wouldn't have believed it either had I not seen the stuff. And I don't know that any of you that watched it with me have. Let's see. Hi, Bucky Ann. The wind is unbelievable. You're getting scared? Really? It's not too bad here. I put on a little snow cam before, but it wasn't that, it's not bad here yet. You're getting a lot of wind. Scooter said she'll stay up with you in the Zoom and you guys can play games if you want. I'll put the Zoom number in Slack if you want to stay in there with Scooter. She said she has your back tonight, Bucky. Your windows are rattling? That's what you said, Scooter, right? You were going to be there for Bucky. She did. She felt bad. I'll put the Zoom in this Slack, and then if you want to come in, Scooter said she'll stay with you tonight. She'll stay up with you. And over a foot of snow? You have over a foot of snow? Well, yeah, I think Long Island is going to get slammed. I put up a snow cam before. But Scooter said she'll stay up with you. Okay. Let me see if I have the snow cam. Oh yeah, I do have the snow cam. Let me put up my snow cam. It's not much. Not too much yet.
So I parked down there in case, well, we're having a blizzard tonight, not in case, we are supposed to have a blizzard. And let's see if there's any night birds out here. There's a song by Jimi Hendrix called Nightbird. Anyway, I don't see any. I do see snow. Please like and subscribe. Stay warm. Make people smile. And you smile.
That's the snow cam. Sounds like a train. You better get ready to go. Where do you have to go? Where do you have to go? You have to go in the basement if you really hear that train. See how Scooter slunk away? That's how you know your true friends are. Scooter slunk away. Not nice, Scooter. Not nice. That's not nice, Scooter. Is what Arizona? Where I just showed you the snow? That's New York. Where are you, Dukin? You're in Maine? Where are you, Dukin? Duking it out? Where are you duking it out? OMG, I just saw someone reporting Americans and tourists are being kidnapped. Well, they always were, Maria. That's really very common in Mexico. You're in Chicago. Yeah, that's common though, Maria, in Mexico, yeah. Right, you guys? Mexico has been common for crimes like that. Don't you remember, like, people, they were grabbing them and putting them in the back of trucks and stuff? Yeah, some parts of Mexico are really, really, really bad. And then you got the cartel down there and stuff, yeah. But to get to your basement, you have to go outside? Oh, boy. A Dorothy door. Who called them Dorothy doors? I think Scooter called them Dorothy doors. Somebody called them Dorothy doors. They're called Bilko doors, but they're a Dorothy. Somebody called them Dorothy doors. I forget who it was. This day and age, I would never travel abroad. Too dangerous. I'll just stay here in my own backyard, says Zigzag. Oh, really? The day I heard that today too. The cartels said they are going to go into private homes and yeah, but Bucky, they did stuff like that before in Mexico. There were parts of Mexico that were really dangerous, you guys. Come on now, guys. That's why I've never been in any I think that's where my daughter went and they stole her passport. She went to visit her friend who worked for the American consulate there. And the painters or somebody went in the place they had and somebody stole her passport. And they had to get her a rush on another one. It was crazy. So yeah, I don't think the kidnapping stuff is anything new. But you have all that turmoil today with a guy being killed, right? Right or wrong? But I think it's time to play our word game because I'd like to get to bed. The trial's tomorrow. I hope we have electricity. I hope we don't get slammed. Let's do the word game. We can play our word game. Hi, Scott. Not really, Scott. You can rewind back to the beginning, but not really. We've been talking about a lot of other things. They're going full force. Yeah, I still don't think it has any bearing on Nancy. I don't think Nancy's in Mexico. I'm hungry. I feel like maybe making oatmeal. I was going to make, see, there, I would tell you I'm going to go to bed. Now I said I'm going to make oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, right? Oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. Yeah, no, I better just go to bed. Jimmy made Blondie things that came out like chocolate chip cookies. Said he puts a little too much salt for my taste, and he said he realizes he can put less now. I'm very sensitive to salt. I don't like it. Okay. Mindful. No, there's no M. Something. Thought it was. I do some, and then you guys can do some. Then I call your names out as soon as you start finding some, right? Scooter, not nice. Right. Is that what you believe, Scott? Is that what you think has happened to Nancy? Muffled. Very good. Hi. Very good. Very good. Not nice, Scooter. Not nice. Not nice. I think I tried flume. Nope. Duffel says hi. Duffel. Shoot. Very good. Very good. Come on, guys, jump in. I'm letting you jump. Mold. I think I tried that too. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not there. Unfortunately. I tried that too. Flu. It wasn't there. Please hit the likes. Thank you very much. Mute. There's no T. Dukin. Dukin, Dukin, Dukin. Dukin. Oh, are you calling in from work again, Dukin? I think Dukin works at night. Hanging with the Ramblers. Jewel is good, but I got it. Fuel is good, but I got it. Lewis. Good, Lewis. Good. Elf. Wonderful. Femme, says Bucky. We try. Oh, you're home now? Okay. Do you work nights sometime? I tried that high. It's not there. High says Elm. Uh-oh. Good. I'm trying to pace myself. I can't do any more yet. I see so many I want to do. Yesterday I was singing all the clues. I can't get in the singing thing now. Def says, I know. You close at 12? What kind, is it a restaurant? Is it a restaurant, Dukin? Flume. Yeah, I tried that, I think. Yeah, like a log flume. But it wasn't there. I see a word. It sounds like a bird. No, I see a word. It doesn't sound like a bird. It is a bird. No, that doesn't rhyme. But that's the truth. Oh, liquor store. You have any big fights there? You must, right? Last call. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Come on, you guys. I see so many words. I'm going to have to do some because you're not getting them. I even told you about emu. Duff. Homer Simpson's favorite beer. Duff beer. Muffle. Very good, Lewis. Very good. Excuse me a minute. I just grabbed the wrong letter. No, no, no. Get down. It's not. No. Stop. Hold on, Lewis. Oh, gosh. It gave me. It made it do it itself. It did. It. Look at that high. I was trying to do Lewis's muffle, and it got the wrong letter, and it did it itself. Isn't that crazy? It wouldn't let me. That's crazy. There's yours, Lewis. Very good. Good high with muffed, even though this thing did it. Fud. Fuddy dud dud. No, it's not there. Okay. I couldn't get it off there. It was had a mind of its own. Nope. I tried that, guys. DEF doesn't work. No, Mo won't work either because we have to go in alphabetical order and all the three. We need a. This word's got to begin with an E or a D. Okay? And it's got to be. I tried flu, Philip, yeah. I tried that, Jen. I got it. I got that one. And you got it too, Philip, just as I did. Wow. I got that one. Now we just need this one. It's going to begin with a D, E, or an F. I got it, I think. I got it. Feud. Okay, let's do another one. We're almost... Let me see. I was going to see how far we are to get an advancement. We're not I think we are lettuce. We're romaine lettuce. Don't let us forget it. No, we don't need that. We're good. Romaine. How could this be 2? Because we did the first one. Oh, that was our puzzle. It says this one is hard. I don't think it's going to be any match for us. They said this is hard. I've almost done. I gotta stop. I have to stop. I've got to give you guys some chance to get some. I've got to stop. Stop, Carolyn, stop. I wonder where murder is. Myth, that's good. Dukin. I got it. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Cry, says Lewis. Cry like a baby. Yep, but I got that. I know. I did too many. Too many. I'm going to stop. I'm sitting on my hands. Not really. Okay, I'm going to have to jump in again because rhythmic. Very good. Very good. Very good, hon. Uh-oh. No? What did we do here? Oh, hold on a minute. I know that's got to be there. There we go. Got a letter. Yikes. What am I doing? Oh, there's no E, dang it. Rhythm. You've got rhythm. I've got music. I'm gonna ask for anything more. Hold on. Something's wrong here. I got it. Hold on a minute. I got the Y in the wrong place. No, wait a minute. Am I losing it? Okay, there we go. Losing it a little bit, yeah. You've got rhythm. We used to always warm up to that when it's tap dancing. Oh, trim. Right? You got rhythm, I got music. Oh no. City. Very good, hi. Try trick. T-R-I-C says Lewis. No, unfortunately. Hmm. Mythic. Hold on, that didn't do it right. Very good. Now we just have one more three-letter word. Icy. Okay, they said it was hard. We got stumped a little, but we all made it through. We did it good. Bill. Fell. Fill. Fix. Buy. Flex. That's a flex. Oh, you and I both got that murder. 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 I was all excited about that. And then I turned around and there goes murder stealing my thunder. Not nice, murder. Not nice, murder. Come on. I finally got one of the big words up there. I was like, wait till murder sees this. And I look in there and there's murder coming right in with it at the same time as me. Hi, murder. Lily, very good. Stukin, back in the game. Back in the game. I tried the flex murder. And it said it was an extra word, I believe. Yeah. Ha ha ha, murder's laughing. Murder thinks it's funny. Not nice, murder. Not nice. That was my big word. I see a bunch right there. Yell. Yell. Flexible says hi. No, because there's only one E. Yeah. Life. It's life, says murder. Get used to it. It's not fair. Elf, says murder. It's not the life of the elf on the shelf. Life says hi, but murder beat you to it. Only one E says hi. Belly says murder. Belly. Oh, Lindell's here. Belly. And what do you got? Only one E. Okay. What else you've got? There's another one that looks like belly, but it's something else. Come along now. You can do it. Billy, don't be a hero. Where is Billy Boy Blue? Where are you? Libel. Okay. That's good. Who got that? Murder. ILL. Yeah, you got that. It's ill. Might have done an autocorrect on you there, Dukin. Yeah, that flex fill, that looks good. You liked it, but it's just going in the extra words. Already found. Bile. Yep, that's one of the ones I saw. Bile. Very good. Murder. One more. I'm going to do mine since it's not there. I want to get the credit there. I want to put in the extra words. Okay, now you get, somebody has to get this 3-letter word right here. Lie. Got it. All right. Get this before murder. I did it before murder. I got you, murder. I beat you that time. And karma. Very good, Dukin. Oh, it went in the extra words. Drama. Very good, Lewis. And Philip, dark is good. I got it though, but drama, that's great. You put Billy earlier. Oh, stop, murder. Come on now. And says, who's got that? Philip. Very good, Philip. WTF. There's no WTF, Dukin. Drank, says murder. Landmark. Yeah, I got that up there high. No, you need another A. Gnarl says hi. I don't. Let's see. Nope. Arc says Philip. Good, Philip. Philip's Dukin says dank. Extra word, Dukin. Alarm says murder. Sound the alarms. There you go. Rank says hi. Oh, hi. I'll wait a minute. Hi had the alarm before. Okay. Yeah, hi. Okay. Lank. Good, murder. Lard says hi 61. Oh, extra word. Mad says Lewis. Mad. Very good. What else you got? Arm says hi. Very good. Where's Hart? She hasn't been here for 2 nights playing with us, murder. Ram, who's that? Said that. Hi. And Philip said ran. Let's see. Very good, guys. And dank, murder. Dukin already got that. It went into the extra words. Rad says hi. Uh-oh. Okay, very good. Damn says hi. Great. Only one more word, guys. One more. Aardvark? What is it? Oh, okay, murder. Damn. No. Let's see. One more. One more. Darn. Like darn your socks, right? Let's see. Very good. Hi. Now we're Roman 4. Very good. Invasion. Oh, you're getting good, Lewis. Wow, look at this murder. Lewis is getting really good. Oh, murder got it first. How does that happen? Come on. I see Lewis is first and then murder's up on top. I think murder does magic. Because I look at something and it's not there, and then I turn back again and it's there. Murder, are you doing magic? Vain, says Lewis. Very good, Lewis. Come on, guys. Let's go. Bison? Inns is murder. Up, extra one. Avion. Extra. Novas. Extra. Nova. Very good. Ion. Oh, stop, White Angel. Don't start trouble. Then. Murder. Come on. She's starting trouble, murder. I know another one. It's a plural of one that's already up there. I'm giving you guys a hint. I'm sure you wouldn't, White Angel. You're just a little angel. Perfect little angel. Murderer. Do you see the plural? Lewis, hi. Do you see the plural? Anon. That's not the one I meant, but no, that's not the one. Dukin. There's only one S, so you can't do that. You've got to, there's another one in the first row. I'm giving you a big hint. Oh, gosh. Oh my God. Linda hit me on the back. Okay. All right. I'm all right. Fine. There's no E. Almost choked to death laughing. Ions, yes. Now I have no voice.
There ain't something.
Now I have no voice. Now it's coming back. Okay.
Oops.
Ions. You gotta crawl before you walk, right? You gotta crawl before you walk. Vans. Yeah, Vans is there. Any. I'm okay, hi. Yeah, no, I'm good. I did the last one. Murder's gonna say I already had it up there. I know, Murder. You always say that. Yeah, right, Murder. I'm doing fine. Back to shouting. That's not shouting. Oh my goodness. Deuce says Dukin. Okay, let's see. Extra word, Dukin. Epic. Very good, Dukin. Occupied, says Murder. Very good, Murder. Copied, making copies. I tried Coop, Murder. It wasn't there. Coped. Cup. I tried cup, I believe. Yep. Extra word. I bet you. Dope, says Philip. Extra word, Philip. Dupe says hi. Extra word, do, says Philip. Yep, extra word. That's already up there, or it was extra word. Hi, Deuce. Cop says. Extra word says Tucson code. Says murder. Coop, yeah, I tried coop. It's went into our extra words. Cod says murder. Hold on. Very good. Do, yeah, do is an extra word. What message is held for review? I don't even see it. That's weird. Do you see that, Linda? Oh, there it is. They held your CUD murder. They didn't even show it. They thought it was so bad. They didn't even show it. Usually they show it. They had a special warning on your CUD murder. You can't even believe it. YouTube thinks it's so bad. Crazy. Dukin says Doc. Dip says Philip. Pod says murder. Now, I've never seen anything like that murder. It was just an exclamation point. It wouldn't even show us the message, and it said held for review because it was super bad. Usually when something's held for review, it shows it to you, it shows it to a moderator, but it was under like a lock and key. They thought it was so bad murder. And all it was the word CUD. Pod and dough. We did pod dough. Says hi. Echo says. Oh boy, it just hid your word die. Ridiculous. Why is it doing that? It's like overly triggered, isn't it? CUD? What did it think that meant? Q. That's crazy.
God, capped on delivery. Maybe that's why they did it.
No, I don't know. It's not. The CUD is the cow. What the cow chews. But I don't know why they hit it on murder, but they hit it in a different way I've never seen it in my life. They wouldn't even show it at all. Yeah, we tried cup, Philip. Ode. Yeah, ode. It must be OD. It must be. Oh, wow. I was thinking we were doing bad things with the words. Okay, let's look at our goal. I mean, our goal. Our poll. 86% said Corey Richens will be found guilty. So we're going to make sure that we remember that. 86% say that on Sunday. And I think I'm going to end this. And you guys, prayers for all that need them. I love you guys. God bless. May the Lord bless you and protect you and give you his peace. And we'll see you tomorrow. Be good and stay well. All right. Love you guys. Bye.